Mr. Chairman, the gentleman previously speaking indicated that Judge Griffith indicated that there would be that they were trying to encourage the courts to get into a legal morass. The problem is the EPA has gotten us all into this morass, and the courts have an opportunity to act, but the rule has not yet been finalized, and that's what Judge Griffith was debating. Do we get into this mess before the rule is final? The gentleman said we should let the courts do their job. The problem is it will take 4 or 5 years for them to do their job, maybe 6, particularly if the current matter is set aside as not yet being ripe. We are facing a morass in many of the states, particularly I know about Virginia. As I stated before, the Virginia State Corporation Commission says just one of our electric power companies is going to spend $5 to $6 billion trying to deal with this. The dates the EPA has, remember I said it'll take 5 or 6 years for the court case to get through. One of those dates is that 13 months after they finalize it, sometime this summer, according to Janet McCabe when she was in testifying last week, 13 months later, the states have to come up with a plan. And by 2020, as it currently is understood, the states will have to start implementing that plan. That's a morass. And the courts are probably sitting there scratching their heads thinking to themselves, we are getting into this morass because of an EPA rule. Why doesn't Congress do their job and take action? This bill is an attempt to say, okay, the EPA is doing something that is totally unreasonable and, as I stated before, very weak on the law. So they're going to do something unreasonable. The least we can do, and is until that legal discussion is finished, is to give the states the ability to say, whoa, 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 this is going to create a morass for us. This is going to be a great threat for us. This is going to cost our ratepayers. You know, it's not just the big electric companies. So many people think it's just a big electric company pays these bills. No, they pass that on to the average citizen. And my people in the 9th District of Virginia cannot afford to have Washington sending more bills to them, putting them in harm's way, making it so that they're having to figure out how are they going to heat their homes in the wintertime. Are they going to have a small kerosene heater in one room to stay warm? I say no. I think the law is extremely weak. I think this rule will be stricken down. This regulation the EPA has proposed will be stricken down on the law itself. I don't think they have the authority to go forward. But what this bill says is that before we go and throw our ratepayers under the bus, 13 months to come up with a plan, 2020 for implementation. Court case won't be decided until 2021, in my opinion, maybe 2022. Everybody will have already acted on this rule that does not have legal authority. Before we throw our citizens, the poor, hardworking men and women of the 9th Congressional District and all across the United States under that bus, let's give them some reprieve. Let's have Congress act. Let's say, whoa, if you think you have the authority, EPA, you go for it. That's your decision. But let's make sure that you have that authority before we harm the people who are having to pay their electric bills every month that are going up already because of EPA regulations and will go up tremendously if this regulation goes forward, particularly when we don't even know if it has legal authority. And I would submit it doesn't, but for those who do, why wouldn't you be willing to wait to find out? I yield back.